Yeah, rares are like bulk rares 3 cents a card.
Okay. Hmm.
But supposedly there's no rares, mythics, or foils in this. Oops, I went to the cookie one. So let's go to the
Mm. Knowing that, I don't know. It'd be up to you. It's not something I would probably do, but it's your call.
well,
Ugh.
2 ways I look at it, or 3 things. One, you never know, something might slip through the cracks, because that's a lot for somebody to have to go through. And then 2 is I just enjoy sorting. And then 3, what you can hardly even get a collector box
Need help?
for that much.
Light bless you.
You know what I mean?
What's a collector box?
2 plus.
You mean like a what's like what is it
Oh,
having it?
instead of like a booster box of play, like a collector booster.
Oh. Yeah, but I'd probably rather have that, honestly.
I don't know if I would. Like per card, it's worth more to get the collector for sure.
Plus, with those, you have a chance to actually like increase the value of what you spent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of just like hoping someone like left something in there that was worth money, like you kind of know like at least something in there is gonna be like at least decent.
Right. Like there's no way of verifying that there's anything playable in this. So, touche.
true.
It's weird for play. Oh, you're just arriving?
No, I've been here a sec.
Oh. Is it Collard? Is that your last name?
Yeah.
Collard. I guess I did never get this like that.
I might not have got the lock one day anyway, so if you can fly there, I have to walk.
I don't have
Keep your
one.
feet on the ground.
I thought we grabbed him. Maybe I'm fucking dreaming that we did.
Didn't my characters die?
Oh, maybe?
Elvish
Is
Druid.
that why?
Did we get to lock one in with Elvish Druid?
I don't know.
How did I
I
die?
swear. I remember one of them you just pulled like 6 pigs in like Elwyn Forest,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
kind of hilarious.
That was stupid.
It's so weird we can't fly there. I swore we grabbed it. Kick a Chad Night Elf, Wet Wind Runner.
Hello and welcome back to the MGD Commander. Today we're talking about bulk buying magic cards. Is it worth it or is it not? So this is it's not all from the same set. Obviously you can tell that box is one of the new Kamigawa boxes there. I have gone through and sorted out the cards that I have purchased. I did purchase a box from the eBay marketplace, only for £40. And I did get all these green creatures, all these blue creatures that I have sorted out into individual boxes, and also all these white creatures as well, and in here are just black creatures. So I have sorted all them out, and I have got a fair bit of value actually out of these. I'll just pull them to one side, and I'll just put this box on here. Again, this is a full box of cards. This is what
I
I
kind of want to
actually
double
came in
check.
a shoebox. And in here we've got near enough
We get down
a full
there and we've
selection of
already
red
had.
cards,
I don't
and
really know what
also
the deal is. Maybe we need
artifacts
some
and
connector
some
between Ironforge and
non-land
Lockman.
cards in there as well.
I don't even know what the fuck that would be.
I have also started putting stuff together, building decks and stuff like that in here, and also all these sleeves, everything like that. There was decks box, everything that came in this pack.
To get to the wetlands,
So
though.
as of value wise, I have gone through all this sets. There were sets in here from the Commander 2019, 2015, in here. Also some of the newer stuff from Midnight Hunt, and that was in here. There's quite a few different sets in here all in all, and I have got a box which I've got from one of my pre-cons in here, and got some of these cards in here. These are worth a little bit of value. Also not this one I got from the pre-release, not from the pre-release, sorry, from the Kamigawa list packs. If I just skip through these ones here. So these ones here, these ones I have pulled from the box. Glory Bringing Air, Morale, Magma Opus. So I say some from the Strixhaven set. I have sold some of the cards. I did have a lot more in here, and I have sold a fair few actually on this. Counterspell.
Grab it. Alright.
Gemstone Caverns.
Got it now.
Anissa.
And now we can fly pretty much
And you
everywhere.
see I've got quite a few different things, and some of them
That's
are worth a
fine.
fair bit of money. I'll skip through to the end. So I have sold, was about double amount of this, double thickness amount of cards that I have pulled from this actual box. I only paid £40 for, and I think I've actually made about nearly £400 back on this box alone, which is not bad going actually. So if it's worth doing, if you can get them that price, I would highly recommend it. Even some of the boxes that are not around that value, the service I found on there, so some is a little bit more around £200 mark, £300 mark, but the cards that you could potentially get in it could potentially cost, well, you could potentially make your money back on them, so I would recommend doing it. And plus it's something a bit different. You get to see some of the older sets that people have started collecting from an early age and stuff like that, that they no longer do or play anymore, which is a shame, but for selling them for that price, it's worth doing. I would highly recommend doing it. And another thing I would highly recommend saying, if you look on eBay as well, stuff like that, people are selling on them their sets on there because they haven't got time to go through it and pick individual cards out, sell them individually, and that's why you get some good bargains out of these sets. And plus there's a lot of here common cards in here that you would put in your decks as well, and so I would highly recommend doing it. And other than that, I would say I would go and do it.
I don't like collector's boosters. On this channel, I have repeatedly said that I don't like collector's boosters as a product. And yet, because of collector's boosters, the price of magic cards for standard and from new sets have significantly decreased, which is something I do like. In fact, the cornerstone of this channel is advocating access to the game through affordability. And thanks to collector boosters, the cost of singles from new sets is lower than ever. which is a great thing for the consumer. Many Magic the Gathering
yeah,
players
some
ask
level
the
18
question,
mage
isn't
died
it
to those
hypocritical
Murlocs we
to
were
say
fighting for
collector's
those
boosters are a
sunfish.
bad product and simultaneously benefit from and
Feels
revel
bad.
in the extremely low price of singles that results because of that product? Answer: no.
Before that,
I'd
some
like to
level 8
explain
died to
why,
Princess.
and in so doing, also clear
Rip.
up some things about myself and my channel, what I say and why I say it. I also want to talk about you as a consumer, what your goals are, and how you can
Someone
aim to
died
be
to a
as
coral
effective as
shark in
possible
Duskmall
with
Marsh.
the
They probably
use of
fucking
your
fell off the
money.
boat.
I'd like to talk
Or
as
jumped too
well
early
about
and
Wizards of the
didn't realize
Coast,
there was
what their goals are as a
friggin'
company, and ultimately
sharks in
the
the water.
relationship between
Alright,
you,
pull this dude.
me, and them. So, let's clear up a few things about the cost of Magic the Gathering cards. I'm going to hop around to other examples in this video, such as Wizards of the Coast decreasing the allocation of draft boosters, and how we as consumers should interpret things such as that. But first, let's start with the collector booster contradiction, or seeming contradiction. Collector's boosters cost anywhere between $250 to $300 per booster box. Strixhaven collector boosters are currently going for about $275. Previously, they were as high as $300. Some sets can drop below $200, such as Kaldheim has, and other sets, such as Commander Legends, can be as high as $433 per box of 12 booster packs. Because these packs are filled with foils and offer new premium treatments of cards, and because they are
Welcome back, Cardboard Warriors. How's everybody's day going out there? Hope you're having a fun time with your magic stuff in your neck of the woods. Let me know how things are going in your area lately. I've got a collection here that I bought a long time ago and haven't been able to do a video on it. These cards have just been sitting in these couple boxes for a while, and I really need to get them sorted into my main collection here. So I need to do a video on this. I've been procrastinating. It was like a 26,000 card collection, but it was all bulk. So it was actually a guy that him and his wife do a lot of flipping here in town on eBay, and somebody owed him some money and gave him like this huge collection of magic boxes for some money that he owed him. And he finally got sick of them taking up a bunch of space in the closet, and he doesn't play, the kids don't play or anything, so he wanted to sell them. Reached out to me from one of my ads on Craigslist, I believe, and I ended up going over there. He had originally wanted like 400, I think, for the collection. When we go over there, and it's just stacks of like 5,000 count boxes, and we start going through it, and we realize it's all bulk. It's all commons, uncommons for the most part. So I was like, it's all bulk. We weren't finding. We actually did go through quite a bit of it. A lot of it was Kamigawa, original Kamigawa block. There's like two 5,000 count boxes that were just champions and betrayers and saviors commons, and so most of the collection was commons. Now some of those commons are worth some decent money, so I ended up doing really good on it. I ended up he wanted a bunch of stuff in trade, a bunch of like Star Wars and Transformers toys and stuff like that, so I ended up doing a partial trade and probably ended up paying about $250 for the collection. And I knew that there was one Ristic Tutor, or Ristic Study. Ristic Study. I knew there was one Ristic Study in the collection that he knew, and he had looked up and knew it was valuable. He's like, some of these commons are worth like $40, and I was like, when I got there and I saw the Ristic Study, I'm like, yeah, that common's worth around $40, but we don't know how many is going to be in here. You know, so I had no idea what I was going to find, but I ended up finding a lot of good stuff. So sometimes buying bulk boxes works out in your favor. So we're going to kind of go through some of the stuff, and then we'll talk about how much I actually got in here. Did pretty good. But anyways, check out the description below while we're going through this stuff, or when we're done going through this stuff. There's a lot of good links down there. Save you money, get your cash back on all your magic purchases. Stuff you're going to buy anyways, it will get it for cheaper, or you'll get cash back on it for free. free money. I like money. Anyway, so this collection, I'm gonna kind of start. We're just gonna go pretty quick through some of the comments and stuff, but I'm gonna show you where you actually get some good money out of these early collections here. Well, because it was all old school. So we'll do this. All right, so big stack. So there's just some basic stuff like there was some, I guess these are Renaissance, I believe. I wasn't playing with this that came out, but I think this is from the Renaissance set. Spike Peter and an old spell book, and then there was a little bit of portal stuff in there. There was a stack that we didn't see when we were looking through them at his house, full of really old cards that we didn't know about. So he was happy with the deal at the end of the day, and I ended up being happy after I went through everything. I was a little concerned when I bought it. I was like, this is a lot of money to spend on commons. And there was only like one box, 1,000 count box that had uncommons in it. So I was a little worried, but it turned out all right. So got a Virtue's Ruin from original Portal, Drift of Phantasms from Ravnica, a Devoted Druid from Shadowmoor, I think. Old White Knight from Revised, and Still Energy from Revised. And then here's where we really kind of just hit it out of the park. Like I said, there was a lot of original Kamigawa stuff, and I thought it had all been searched and all that, and it probably was, but it's probably been quite a few years since it was searched. He had that collection sitting at his house for a few years, and the guy he got it from, I think, had it sitting at his house for a few years. Nobody really went through it or anything, so... Lava Spike from Champions of Kamigawa. When I went through this collection, which was a few months ago, this was like a $3.80 card or something like that it was showing. And there was so much of this Kamigawa stuff, I actually ended up with 99 copies of it. So this one little common ended up paying for the whole collection. So yeah, see, keep going. 99 copies of just Lava Spike was just incredible. When I saw that, I was like, whoa, $4 for this common almost, and there's 100 of them in here. See, we're still going. That's a lot of Lava Spikes. There we go. So 100 Lava Spikes. So that one little common paid for the whole collection. Now, odds are when you buy bulk, you're not going to get 100 copies of Lava Spike. It just happened that whoever like bulked this collection out years and years and years ago, Lava Spike hadn't spiked. Yeah, you see what I did there? Hadn't spiked yet, so it was probably still like under $1 at the time, so they didn't pull it out. So because there is a lot of commons and uncommons that were pulled out that were valuable many years ago that I didn't get any of, but I guess this one went up since they sorted out this collection. So I got 100 of those in this collection. Because there's, like I said, 2 5,000 count boxes, just Kamigawa. And then, of course, there's a couple dollar Desperate Ritual in that set as well. And we got like 90 something of those as well. So the Kamigawa boxes actually kind of sucked to sort out because they were literally, it looked like a store's mass box opening. They were all in order by how they would have come out of the packs. So I had to do a lot of sorting on this. And we're still going. There we go. So there's probably like 80 or 90 Desperate Rituals there, which I love Desperate Rituals. Such a great card. I was playing real heavy standard every weekend when the Kamigawa block came out, and then of course the Onslaught block after and all that, or Report or whatever. And Desperate Ritual was such a good ramp card in standard. And then the splice onto Arcane too. With Storm, we were doing some crazy Storm decks back then. I loved that card for the Storm decks. I wish that wasn't banned in Modern and all that now, because it's such a good card. But anyway, so those two cards alone just absolutely killed it on this collection. And then there's, of course, just all these cards that are like dollar cards, like Kadoma's Reach and stuff that, again, we got like 100 of. Or close to like 80 to 100 of most of these commons from Champions, because there was 2 boxes of just Champions. Like I said, I think it was a store that had done a mass box opening on the Champions block and just took all the stuff out, and they literally just pulled the rares out of the packs and the uncommons out of the packs. So the commons were actually in order of how they come out of the packs. After I got done sorting those 2 5,000 count boxes, I pretty much knew, like halfway through the second box, I could tell which card was coming next in the pack because they were literally just somebody opened the packs, pulled the rares and uncommons out, and then put them in the box. Open the next pack, pull the
Must
rares
want to
and uncommons
screenshot
out,
me
put 'em in
doing
the box.
this just to make sure.
So, unfortunately,
I'm not
I didn't get all the
dreaming.
comments from this set because that would have been amazing if there was like
Session.
100 Sensei's Divining Tops or 50 Sensei's Divining Tops in there. That would have been amazing, but it wasn't. So we got stacks of Secure Tribe Elders, of course. Yeah, more of that. Most of it is, as you can see, most of it's all Champions block, or the original Kamigawa block, Champions, Betrayers, and Saviors. Just tons and tons and tons of that. And so here, like Betrayers, one of the Shinobis, but only a couple of the more expensive cards from like Betrayers, Ninja the Deep Hours. There's only 3. These Shinobis, only like 5 of those. So not as much Betrayers as there was Champions. But you see there was a lot of like Kamiya False Hopes from Betrayers, which is like $1 card or $2 card or something. And then here's another big one from Saviors. We got a bunch of Freed from the Reels. So that one apparently hadn't gone up yet. There wasn't as much Saviors. There's only probably a couple thousand Saviors. So not as much of that, but there's still, quite a few of these couple dollar, $1, $2 commons and stuff. But there was a lot of the block before that as well, the Mirrodin block. So we got a lot of Fifth Dawn stuff, and like some tons of Serum Visions here, which is like a $1 or $2 card, couple dollar card. So it all adds up at the end of the day. So a lot of Serum Visions in there, and then like Stealth Suits, couple dollar card, Wayfarer's Baubles were a couple bucks at the time. I think they've reprinted that a couple more times. Then there was just a couple random, like a Blasting Station in there, which is a pretty valuable uncommon from Fifth Dawn, and a lot of the artifact lands. Too bad they're banned because they made Affinity just absolutely rock back in the day. I remember when the original Mirrodin block came out, I built this Ravager Affinity deck that was just unbelievably fun to play. Like turn 3 or 4, I was coming at you with like a 2020 Ravager. It was just a blast. And of course, Thoughtcast, another big Affinity card. So, and there's somebody had gone through and packaged up like I think there's 10 or 12 Thoughtcasts in one sleeve there. There's a bunch of those that I kept coming across. Unfortunately, most of them weren't valuable cards, but I got a bunch of these pre-packed, like they cramped a dozen of them in one sleeve type thing. Seething Song, another one of my favorite just mana ramp cards in red. Great for Storm, so good for Storm. A few of those. Got some Lightning Greaves, some Talismans, some Skull Clamp, a couple Whisper Soak Cloaks, a bunch of those from Dark Steel. Yeah, so there was a lot of the, it was mostly bulk, but it was mostly this bulk from these older sets, which actually were something. So we had a bunch of Onslaught block stuff, so there's a lot of Onslaught, Legions, and Scourge. So as you can see there, a bunch of the Reaping the Graves, and then the Carrion Feeders were like $1 or $2 each from Scourge, and Vengeful Dread was like $1, I think. So a lot of just $1, $2 cards, but they added up at the end of the day, to make a pretty awesome Brightstone Ritual, another good red ramp card if you're running Goblins. Well-Wishers from Onslaught. It's like not having the uncommons and rares because that's where all the real value's at in these older sets. But at the end of the day, we did really, really good. We got a lot of old cards that I had gotten rid of in my collection when I sold it back in 2008. Explosive Vegetation, Chain of Smog, Anger. We got some Torment, some Acorn Harvests, a bunch more Acorn Harvests. There was a lot of Torment in there for some reason. Not as much Onslaught or Judgment, but a lot of Torment, which is nice because that's a set that I just tend to have trouble coming across. Some Odyssey, some Careful Studies, some Moment's Peace. Some Plane Shift, some Familiars, more Plane Shift with the more Familiars there. So a lot of, it was just a lot of really good memory lane, bulk stuff. But because it was all older stuff, you know, hull breaches for days, we did get a lot of value out of it. Some terminates, some original terminates in there. Only a playset, unfortunately. Terminates probably one of those cards that were pulling out, just missed a few. So a lot of this, that's what it seems like. It was definitely sorted by a store or something, and they just might have missed a few of the better ones when they were sorting out the packs. But there's still plenty of good old school commons and uncommons that they just haven't reprinted yet. That Mercadian masks here, just stuff that I had, you know, tons of in my collection when I sold it, and now I, you know, when I go to find one of those cards for a deck or something, I don't have one anymore, and it's a bummer. So it's nice to come across a collection like this where I can get at least the commons and uncommons from back in the day that I took for granted and don't have anymore, and now I need them. Priestess Titania, one of the best elf cards ever printed. I mean, talk about ramp for 2 for a 1/1. Tap it to add green mana to your mana pool for each elf in play. It's crazy. Some wood elves. A lot of them were, there was a lot of these older cards you find in really rough condition in these old collections. I've got another collection I'm going to go through here that was really old school stuff, but it was kept in a shed and most of them are ruined. Now here's like another one of those like 10 packs of Coin the Weeks. Some stronghold, so
There's a bunch of quests here. I
older stuff that I found in there.
don't really know. We can just
Again,
do all of them.
uncommons for the most
Eventually we'll
part,
find ones that are our
I
level.
think we did get a couple rares in the
Anything we
collection,
turn in, we get XP for.
in the older stuff because they didn't have rarity symbols, so whoever sorted those out didn't really know what they were looking for. But anyway, we did get a few like Order of Silence, some Mind Stones, Elephant Grass, Summer Bloom from Visions, Prosperity, Desolation, Necromancy, some Mirage, some Alliances, some Homelands, Apocalypse Chime, cool card.
What brings you
Pyroblast
here?
from
Go in
Ice Age,
peace.
a lot of Ice
Sure.
Age. Seems like a lot
Right,
of collections
yeah,
I've been getting lately have a lot of Ice
It's
Age.
easy.
Unfortunately, it's all beat up.
Hi.
It's
Off
like
with
first
you.
quest. Might want to
See
skip
you
that.
soon.
Some Muddle the Mixture, Farseeks, Deep Shadow, some original Ravnica stuff. There were some weird, like, random, like, World Wake and Zendikar here and there. And then there's a lot of just randomness. Now we're going to get into the good stuff, the stuff you guys have been waiting for.
I am honored.
We're getting closer. So we got a Changeling Titan.
Sure.
We did get some starter stuff, a couple Nature's Lores, and we got some Dark. We got Elves of Deep Shadow, Leviathan. We got a Brian Hag from Legends, Reflecting Mirror from the Dark, another Brian Hag. Oops, those should be together. And Italian Legends. There was a lot of Italian Legends. So
Good.
the English Legends seemed like they were there like on Friday or Saturday or whenever they were released. I think it was Saturday back then. They were there, and
Crystal.
then like a week later, we couldn't find Legends anywhere,
Okay.
but we kept coming
What brings
across
you
tons of
here?
Italian Legends. But I
Farewell.
think, from what I understand, they printed
Even
like
if
10
that's like
times the
not
amount
much
of
XP,
Italian
I'll
Legends.
take
than
the
they did
6
English
silver just
Legends
to
for some
talk
reason.
to a fucking
So
stone
Italian
and
Legends
come
are
back.
a lot more common and a lot
So
less
this-
valuable. We got a Helm of Awakening from
I'm a
Visions.
prospector.
We got a Might Stone and a Mishra's War Factory.
Great to meet you.
And a Thought Power Leech from Antiquities. And then we actually did get an original Tron Land and Antiquities Urza's
Potion,
Tower.
see.
An Asma
Well,
Margaret, which I used to love
See
back
you
in the day.
soon.
Now,
Be
with
good.
Power Creep, it's not powerful, but back in the day, that was huge. Urza's Miter, got a couple of those. We got a War Elephant. And we got a few original Abu Jafars from Arabian Nights. An Amulet, a couple amulets from Antiquities. A Tanos Wand from Antiquities. A Zenith Poltergeist. Martyrs of Corliss. Dwarven Weaponsmith. Psionic Entity. Now this is all stuff that I did not see when we were kind of looking through the collection. I had no idea there was these old
Okay. Gotcha. No worries. $50 Apple keyboard. Hell yeah. I mean, if it works, then yeah, why not?